Hey guys, welcome back. Now, after 6 long months of tedious, boring, sideways consolidation, it looks like this could all be coming to a spectacular close just next month, with unfortunately potentially more downside and a final flush out for the altcoins. Now, the good news is that this could finally mark the bottom of Bitcoin season, and then the beginning of what everyone is waiting for, alt season. And so in this video, I'll be going over just 3 charts which basically explain all of this and what may be coming our way. Firstly, why red timber is likely on the way and why this is probably bad for the altcoins. Then, with the first Fed rate cuts coming next month, why this isn't necessarily a good thing. And then we'll finish with the good news, why this could then finally mark the bottom for the altcoins and on the flip side begin alt season. Okay, so first up, let's begin with the big milestone happening next month, which is the first Fed rate cut, and also why the first rate cut is not necessarily a good thing. And so the first big thing happening next month in September is we finally get a rate cut from the Fed. And this is the current probabilities of what's going to happen in the meeting 18th of September. So the market is predicting there's 65% chance that it'll just be a quarter point reduction and a 35% chance that it'll be a 0.5%. Now, if we want the economy to boom and crypto prices to boom, then we want the half cut. So there's a fairly decent chance, though I do think the Fed will probably just start with a quarter point. So you may be thinking that rate cuts are a good thing, and this means back to boom times, however, not so fast. If we just take a look at interest rates going back to approximately the year 2000, then this is what we see. So right now, interest rates were raised up after the big crash in 2022, bringing us up to this over 5% mark, and we've been higher for longer ever since. Now, the couple of times previously that this has happened, we see interest rates got brought up past 5%, all the way past 6%, higher for longer, and then they got the first rate cut. But the reason I say that the first rate cut is not necessarily a good thing is because look what happened to the market. This was the notorious dot-com crash and massive recession. So the big recession came right after the first rate cuts. Now, the boom time is actually once rates have fallen all the way back down, and it's in a low rate environment where we get the massive boom times. So the first rate cut, this was just prior a massive crash and big recession. Now, similar thing here, we see interest rates were raised above this 5% mark. They were kept higher for longer, and it's actually when the Fed finally pivots, it's normally a bad thing because you've put the brakes on the economy, you've made money really expensive to borrow for the maximum amount of time, and things begin to break. So the first rate cut is a time when things are really not going that well. And what happened here, this was the great 2008 financial crisis. So again, when the Fed pivots, this turned out to be a massive crash in the stock market, and it led to a massive recession. And then here we are again, rates jacked up past the 5% mark. We've been higher for longer, and we're right at the end of the cycle, about to pivot. So pretty much here and here. And this is why historically this is not necessarily a good thing. If history repeats, there could be a hard landing, there could be a recession, which means a final flush out for the altcoins. So this is data point number 1. and why the very first rate cut is not necessarily a good thing. Number 2. Backing up why September may not be a good month has to do with seasonality. So this is the entire Bitcoin marketplace going back 2013, a good 10-year history. And historically, we can see what are good months and what are bad months. And at the bottom, summarized by the average and median. So in crypto, the vast majority of the months are positive months. However, there are the odd months where this isn't the case. So typically January being a good month, February being good, March being good, April being good, May being good, and it's June that historically is not a great month. So as we go into 2025 next year, this will certainly be on my radar, starting from June. Then July is typically good. August, although the average is slightly positive, the median is negative 7.5%. And where are we right now as I record this video? Negative 7.5%. So very interesting there. Now, looking to September, which we'll come back in a second, you can see this is not a good month. But then Q4, and why I think altcoins could be bottoming here, is that Q4, starting with October, historically is one of the best months. November, a very strong month, and even into December. So bringing us back to September and why I think it's likely Redtember is on the cards. Although this didn't happen last year, you can see just how many red months that we get in the past several years. On average, it's down rounded up about 5% and 6% for the median. So chances are, and with this being the pivotal month that the Fed pivots, it's lining up as a bit of a warning for September. However, the silver lining is that it's looking very bullish for October, November, December. And remember, when the crypto market goes down, which one falls the most? Is it Bitcoin or is it the altcoins? So if this is a negative month for Bitcoin, it's fairly safe to assume that it's going to be worse for the altcoins. But remember, that's also true on the upside as well. And then finally, data point number 3. And this is a very interesting chart, not one that I talk about a great deal. So this is the Ethereum Bitcoin chart. And Ethereum is a great proxy for the altcoin market, and it's the ratio between Bitcoin. So when this is going up and shooting to the moon, it means that Ethereum and altcoins are doing really, really well. And when this chart is collapsing and going down, it means that Bitcoin is doing very well in relation to the altcoins, in particular Ethereum. So most recently, for the last couple of years, Ethereum has been struggling against BTC, and Bitcoin has been the place to be. So the big question is, this is obviously cyclical. There are times when Ethereum and altcoins outperform. There are times when Bitcoin outperforms. So the big question is, when is Bitcoin season finally going to end? When are we going to get the bottom? And when will the next altcoin cycle begin, where Ethereum and altcoins begin to outperform against BTC once again? Well, this says to me that we are getting very, very close. Firstly, I've marked in the 2 bottoms. So this is when the altcoins had bottomed for 2017 after the massive boom and then crash. This is where altcoins bottomed again going into 2020. And the question is, where is it going to bottom this time? Well, remember, this is all pure speculation. However, here's a couple of ways to look at it. So now I've just marked in when the actual market had peaked. So this is when it peaks between Ethereum and Bitcoin, but it wasn't the top of the market. The actual peak of the crypto market was here. And similar for the massive blow-off tops in 2021, first big cycle top a year after the halving was here, and then the final top was here. But Ethereum and altcoins topped out the month after. So what we can do is we can take it from the actual top and see how many months did it take until it bottomed out. This was June 2017, so a year would be June 2018, and then we'll find June 2019, and then it was within 3 months where the altcoins had bottomed. So it was about 2 years, maybe 2 years and a couple of months. And interestingly, it flipped over from this August to September. So similar to right now, this is the August going into September, and it took just over 2 years from when it topped out. Now, looking at where it topped out this last time, which was December 21. So we go to December 22, there is 1 year. December 23, there is your 2 years, and it's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2.5 years just over. So we have very limited data here, but it suggests going from peak to peak, this suggests that we're getting very, very close, or it may have just happened in this last major flush out. And then the other thing to look at is that when it bottomed here, there was this 3 monthly candle flush out. So big drop, 3 monthly candle flush out to mark the bottom. Same thing happened here. We had this 1, 2, 3 monthly declines for Ethereum against Bitcoin. 3 months in a row where Ethereum really struggled, and then it marked the bottom. And then if we look right now, Ethereum has been struggling obviously for a long time against Bitcoin. And what do we see? This 1, 2, 3 big month flush out. So again, it's a third data point which says to me why this month, or maybe next month in September, could be the final bottom for Ethereum and altcoins, and it's where they begin outperforming once again, going into altcoin season. So it's a mixed bag. Yes, this is a warning that September, to me, has a good probability of being a bad month for the altcoins. But then the good news is that there's a lot of data saying that October, November, December could be great months for crypto, for Ethereum, and the altcoins. Next month looks to be a super pivotal month in the crypto market in this entire 4-year cycle. Firstly, we should be seeing the first rate cut by the Fed. However, as discussed, historically, this is not the big boom time. Seasonality shows that September is not a good month for crypto. And when things go down, is it worse for Bitcoin or the altcoins? Altcoins. However, the good news is that this could finally mark the bottom for the altcoins, and it's where Ethereum and altcoins begin outperforming once again. However, also remember, none of this is set in stone, and the crypto market will do what the crypto market will do. So finally, for me, I'll be mentally preparing for a rough September. Now, if things do explode, then great, all good. And if we do get a crash, then this is what I'll be expecting. And I'll know that alt season will be very, very close once again. So there you are, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Now, in this entire 4-year cycle, we are now right at the end, so close to blue skies ahead. So keep optimistic, keep battling. However, just remember, to get rid of 100% of the comment spam and trading bots that plague YouTube comments, we are trying out the new SuperThanks Commenting system. So to get your question or comment read and replied to, or just to say thanks, then use SuperThanks below. And for now, just to say, if you did enjoy anything in the video, then drop a like, and a big thank you to everyone who does, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.